Word. All right, let's start. Thank you so much, Ava, for joining us. I know your experience has been really insightful and we really want to get to know you more. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, for sure. Hi, my name is Ava Jabari. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm a current third year undergraduate at UC Davis here in Davis, California. And I currently study environmental policy analysis and planning, and I also double major in international relations with a focus in the Middle East and Africa, specifically looking at peoples and nationalities.
Outside of your studies, do you have any specific interests?
Yeah, outside of my studies, I I am very like focused. I guess this like connects to my studies, which is why I'm doing them. But I am an environmentalist and I do focus a lot on things that I can do to make the planet a better place and to navigate a place that's very consumer based. And also I really do care about learning about other cultures. I focus a lot on anthropology classes in my international relations major. And yeah, even my work, I work at the Cross Cultural Center here at UC Davis. And the thing that drew me to the job wasn't just the fact that it would be a good job and it has like good flexible hours and things. It was more just because I really enjoyed the space and I really wanted to give back in a way that would support diversity and give people a place to be where it feels inclusive. So yeah, I mean, otherwise, I love movies. I'm a big film person. I do enjoy to read, even though it's hard to find time to. I'm very insightful and I'm a very passionate person, I think. So yeah, I think that basically covers a lot of things. And I like to crochet, but I haven't been doing that as much these days.
That's amazing. It's very diverse. I love it.
Thank
I
you.
know you're a student leader, so what inspired you to get to be involved in ISO and MELSA? I know you said you're really interested in different cultures, but I want to learn a little bit more about that.
Yeah, for sure. So, on top of my academics and my job, I have been a part of the Iranian Student Organization here at UC Davis for 2 years. This year is my second year as a board member. My freshman year, I attended many events just because I really wanted to connect more with the Iranian population on campus, which was really beneficial because I made a lot of lifelong friends and I ended up becoming a part of the board. And through that, I've also made a lot of great connections, met a lot of great people, worked with a lot of amazing girls. We've had a predominantly girl board, but yeah, so that's always awesome. But yeah, I've been a part of it for about 2 years, and it's been something that I've been really happy about. I feel like I've grown a lot as a person. I've seen myself change a lot about how manage conflicts or how I go about leadership as a whole. Because yeah, we've had a lot of difficulties, of course, like navigating it with not many years under our belt like ourselves as the board. I mean, there's only 4 years in your undergrad. But yeah, next year I'm going to be the president of the organization. So thank you. But yeah, so given all that, I've been doing that outside of academics. And also MELSA, like you mentioned, it's a new chapter here at UC Davis. It's the Middle Eastern Law Student Association, which was birthed out of UCLA. And now we have a chapter here at Davis. Yeah, it's relatively new, just started this quarter. I'm one of the event directors. So, yeah, we just kind of, we're just trying to get on our feet. But yeah, yeah. I don't know if that covers the question. Is that all? Is that good?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Okay.
I see you guys posting a lot of great events on your Instagram, for ISO. What has been the most meaningful event for you to organize?
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, ISO has for sure gotten busier since I joined. Not necessarily because of me, of course, but I've seen it progress. After COVID, it really died down. Even if you scroll all the way back to our earlier posts in 2020, people would be on Zoom with each other and doing stuff, which is great. But ever since then, we've really seen an uptake in like a upturn in like what we do. Um, Ever since I've joined board, we've been doing a lot more cultural big events because we've seen students really gravitate towards those. Because I mean, especially for our Iranian American population, like I can even attest to this. I have a lot of interests and I have a lot of different people I want to hang out with. So I don't necessarily always want to be with like people that have the same culture as me because I want to experience a lot. But that's why I think that our cultural events draw a lot of Iranians because it's something where you want to celebrate with like your fellow Iranians. It's something that they would get or it's something you want to show your friends because it has like cultural historical meaning. So, given that, we've basically been organizing a lot of those. Mehrgan, for example, has been a long-standing tradition now. We would also do Charshab Suri. This past year, however, we really focused on Nowruz, which I think was probably the most meaningful event we've had, at least in my years with ISO, because it really brought in a lot of people and it felt very meaningful both to us as board and to the people who attended. For instance, we had cultural performances, we had santur performances, we had singing, we had guitarists. It was really beautiful, and it was just very like it was nice given the the cultural celebration that is Nowruz. And if you're at school doing finals, it's really hard to like find a space to celebrate Nowruz given the fact that I mean, I can't even put together a good half scene at my apartment. So yeah, so it was really nice to bring people together. We had a lot of families come out, which was nice, and we also like catered food from Shahrazad in Sacramento. So we got faculty to come, faculty members we didn't even know were Iranian. So it was really awesome to see a wide range of people attend. And at the same time, almost everyone spoke to us with gratitude, the fact that we organized it. So it felt very rewarding. And we had a full house. We had dancing, food, performances. Yeah, it was great. We had a gorgeous half scene thanks to Donna Valizade's mother, who is one of the people on board. So yeah, I think that was probably our best event just because we really got people together and it didn't feel like it felt like needed.
Yeah, I would agree. That's my favorite celebration. I think like in all cultures, the New Year celebration is really important, and that's when
Mhm.
like you want people of the same culture, you want people you can connect to. And it's amazing you guys did that.
Yeah, and it was also great to see people like I have many friends who aren't even Iranian, and my boyfriend himself, he's Turkish, and they came out and they absolutely loved it too. So it was also a way for us to showcase our culture to people in our lives that aren't necessarily from the same background.
Yeah, because it really helps people understand who you are when you show them your culture. And
Yeah,
like seeing in
exactly.
that food, it really helps.
Yeah, and everyone loved the food naturally. We've got great food in Iran.
Okay, moving on to more of like your career path. I know you talked about environmental policy and also being part of a pre-law program. So where does these areas like connect in your mind, and how are you like how do you feel that you got interested in both of them together?
Yeah, for sure. That's a good question because it was really difficult to figure out why I even liked both things. But I mean, I'll give you like a history kind of history, so like why I even ended up here because I initially attended UC Davis as only an environmental policy analysis and planning major, like only. And I was just gonna be like a go like environmentalist, like join all the environmental clubs, do everything. But I came to UC Davis and I felt very homesick like out the gate. Like I was just like, "Oh my God," because I grew up in Orange County and it's just already that's far. So when I came to Davis, I felt very like, oh, like who even am I? Like, oh, I miss my family, blah, blah, blah. And I started taking Farsi classes. And that really helped for sure because I was never literate in Farsi or Persian. So I wanted to learn to read and write. And I thankfully did after a year taking the intermediate class here. So that was great. Our Persian department's awesome. But I noticed that I really care about that, and that's how I kind of got into ISO. But then I noticed that I care more about that also professionally. Like it matters to me. And I took an anthropology class, and then I was like, wow, like I love this. Like talking about like how humans like culturally develop and stuff, but not in like a way of like eugenics because that's horrendous. More like why are we so different? How can we learn about each other and make a more understanding world kind of? And I looked at the majors and I realized, ooh, I don't think I want to do like anthropology. Like that would be just too much. I feel like I'd be limiting myself. And I've always liked politics. I've always, well, not necessarily liked, it's a difficult topic. It's a very difficult field, stressful. But I always really like I always paid attention to like global politics, like domestic national politics. I knew it was important. So given the fact that I was already an environmentalist, I already kind of had my eye on those type of policies. I was like, okay, cool. That's cool. I'm already doing that, and I've already taken a lot of classes for it, so I'm not gonna like drop it. And I also still care about it, but I wanna widen my scope a little and also take these classes that I'm interested in that I didn't know I would have been interested in. So I saw that international relations has both the policy aspect, which is important, and also supplements my environmental policy classes, and it also gives it that international perspective. And that's where I can also take more Middle East and African classes and learn more about those like specific areas. Because as much as I'd love to learn about the world, there's only so many classes I can take. So I picked that area of study. And my Farsi language, my Persian language helped there because I needed a language class. So perfect, already knocked that out the gate. And then the Peoples and Nationalities track focuses a lot on anthropology classes and sociology classes. So it was perfect. I basically added that, and I've always been interested in law, like since I was like probably middle school. Like I watched a lot of law shows, Criminal Minds, like criminal things were always in my mind. Like I always kind of knew like, oh, a lawyer could be part of that world. But I still am on the fence about it just because law school, you go into law school, from what I've heard from like people I've spoken to and like current judges and lawyers, when you go to law school, you're kind of set to be a lawyer. And while you can be have a law degree and like have passed the bar and do something else with your life, a lot of times you're being trained just to be a lawyer. So I'm really at this standstill with myself as a third year, trying to figure out if I should go to law school or not, or if I should like take gap year, find work, or if I should just go to another grad school or just find another type of job, you know? So I'm kind of figuring it out. But my parents, for one, Iranian parents, they for sure are like, be a lawyer, like it's good, you'll make money. And I am a talker, and I do like to talk. I do like to argue. I like to debate things. I like the whole like I don't know how your mind works in those situations. Like it's something that I thrive on. So it's been a choice. It's been an option. I don't know if it's the choice I've made yet, though.
I love how you talked about exploring your options and taking classes and seeing like I'm interested in this, I'm not interested in this. I love how you did that and mentioning like having Iranian parents or like stricter parents. They kind of
Yeah,
sometimes they put in this mindset in you that you have to like go after a title and you need to like know what you want straight out of the gate. But
exactly.
I loved how you use your college experience to experience and like see what you love.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I really did not know much about anthropology until I took cultural anthropology and two of my UC Davis people who might be listening to this. But I took that class, and it was really awesome. Professor was amazing. I think her name was Marisol de la Cadena or something. She was a great professor. It was really it was really a good class, and it showed me like, oh, this is something that I would never have known about if I didn't take the class or if I didn't show an interest already. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Going off our topic in academics, I know you're part of a lot of programs and you have a lot of interests. So how do you balance like your academics and all the programs you're part of, student leadership, your interests? How do you balance everything?
Yeah, it can be hard. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of times where, like, my calendar, part of my calendar is a portion that just says Ava time. Like, Ava, don't book anything, don't do anything. Because I have to remind myself to first take time for myself, but also not overwork myself. I mean, I also have a job for which I get paid, so it always feels good to have hours for that. So that one I may be more like, okay, leading it on because I love to be paid. I love to have some, pocket money or just pay the bills. So that one is interesting just because, it's more of a responsibility that really benefits me directly. Um, but also, I do just love my job. There's a lot of great people I work with. Not to say that I'm there just for the paycheck, but I think in general, managing my time can be really hard. I also just like social life. Like, I want to have time to spend with my friends, or like, I want to see my boyfriend, or like, I want to talk to my sister on the phone, like, or talk to my friends who are long distance over the phone. There's a lot of time that I try to allocate to those things too, so it makes it even harder. Um, but I think ISO, because it's been a part of my life for so long, we have very consistent meetings, and sometimes there's time conflicts with my other responsibilities. I mean, I'm also a part of the Davis Pre-Law Society, and they have requirements to stay on board, or not stay on board, but stay as a member. So I have to go to a certain number of meetings, certain number of social, certain number of professional development meetings. So that's sometimes conflicts with ISO. And like, I'll be like, guys, I need to take an excused absence, and I do those other things. But I love my Google Calendar, I guess. Like really, I don't know how I would do it without my Google Calendar. It is my holy grail. Yeah, I literally have everything there, color coded. It's awesome. And I always like try to make my academic schedule, my classes, the most convenient it can be. Like later classes, if possible. Uh, Classes that end early, if possible. But I think it's just like a management thing. Like, I try not to overbook myself with my Ava time. I try to keep everything organized. I have like notifications for my Google Calendar because there are times where I do experience burnout. I mean, even this past week, I had burnout where I would just let my brain think that I didn't have to do anything. When in reality, if I just checked my Google Calendar, I had to be in a discussion and I was 10 minutes late to my discussion, and because I just decided to live in ignorance, because I think part of me wanted to be free, like I wanted me time. So I just said, "There's nothing going on. I'm not busy." And then I sit down with my friend after like she gets food and I get a drink and like we're sitting to do homework, and I open my Google Calendar and I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm 10 minutes late to my discussion. That's great." And so I get up and then I go to my discussion. So, not to say that I'm perfect. Like, there are, like, no, like, I love my Google Calendar, but sometimes I don't want to have a Google Calendar. Like, I want to live free. So, I can't wait for the summer. But I think it's really just about me knowing my limits, which is hard. Like, I'm learning that now, like, as an undergraduate, like, doing all these things. I have to learn to say no more. Like, I've been invited to something this weekend, for instance. And then I was like, oh, I can't go because I've made plans with other friends. Like, or even if I didn't have plans with friends, I could have been doing homework and I would have still hopefully have said no because I need time to still get a good GPA, and like also manage my responsibilities. I can't have responsibilities if I don't live up to them. So that otherwise I'm just letting everyone down because it's just not going to work. Even next year, being a part of two clubs and still having my job and my academics, I was asked to also be a part of the Persian language club on campus that is just starting up as well. I had initially said yes. It's being headed by Professor Amy Motlag, Dr. Amy Motlag here, as well as Professor Saberi Najafi, who's the language teacher. So I was asked by them, and like I have great admiration for both of them. So I was like, of course, I'd love to. And I said I would be president. And then I kind of sat with that decision for a couple weeks, and I was like, how the hell am I going to do all that next year? There's no way. There's just no way. So I basically kind of stepped down. Now I'm interim president until we find a new one. But even that, like it was an opportunity that presented itself and it would have been really great. But I have a lot of other things that are going for me right now. And if I added that, I know I would slip up in my other responsibilities and I would just not be a good president for PLC or for ISO, or I would be a bad event director. So, yeah.
I love how you saw your limits, and even though you're doing a lot, you saw where it was like too much for you. Do you have any advice for people who want to be like part of the student life, but it's hard for them to balance everything and they face burnout, and also how to learn to say no to things?
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm still learning this now. So my advice is really like in the trenches. Like yeah, I'm figuring it out too. So my kudos to everyone who's figuring it out because it's hard. You really learn your priorities. You learn what matters to you. Because if I say yes to something and part of me doesn't even want to go, it's like I'm not even bringing the energy that they want me to bring to their event or to their whatever it is. So it's like you're not really helping anyone really when you do that. And also, I know a couple of freshmen this year actually who are like very involved or they're trying to be. And I think it's great. I love it. But at the same time, I keep reminding them, I'm like, okay, like, because I have classes with them and stuff. I'm like, okay, so just pick a thing that you feel good about, you think aligns with your future at the moment, something you think you could thrive in, but don't say yes to everything because, like I said, like you'll just be burnt out. And at the end of the day, nothing will feel rewarding. So it's just a matter of, it's like that idea that you, like there's that saying or something about like the eggs in all in one basket. Like that's bad, right?
Yeah.
That's true. But at the same time, you don't want your eggs to be like sparsely like spread out like across campus across people because then no one's getting a good meal, they're
Mhm.
getting one egg, like what's that gonna do them? you know
Mhm.
so yeah, I think it's just really it's a journey within oneself to see what matters to them, and it's okay to say no and it's okay to back out of things. I've I've had that happen, like even with the PLC, with the Persian Language Club, and even a couple years ago. Was it even a couple? I don't know. It was like last year or something. Yeah, it was like last year. I was also a part of a student lab, New York Times media project under Dr. Swad Joseph here, an anthropologist. I was a part of that for a year, and then I was asked to be, what is it? Not manager, but like one of the leads, a part of the program. And I realized that it wasn't actually something that I wanted, and I wanted to be a part of other things more. So I was like, okay, I know this now. Why did I accept the position? I don't know. But I then had to talk to the professor again and tell her, I'm unfortunately not able to do that, and I'm telling you as soon as I figured it out. And ever since then, I left the lab. And as much as I loved my time with the lab, I'm happy I left because I was able to do other things. Like, I predominantly left because I got the job at the Cross Cultural Center, and I knew I wanted to spend more time there rather than researching. So, you know, you'll make mistakes, and I think it's really easy to start like putting yourself down or being like, damn, like I shouldn't have done that. I look unprofessional. Oh, this, that, that. But it's like I'm 20. I was 19 then. Like we're just figuring it out. And a lot of times, especially if you go to a very gracious campus, and I really love UC Davis for this, I never feel that pressured. Like I never feel that like judged. So all the faculty are awesome, and like my supervisors at my job are awesome. So I think it's just a matter of giving yourself grace and letting yourself make those mistakes. And honestly, they're not even mistakes because as long as you learn from them, you're okay.
Yeah. I love how you said like it's good to explore your options, and I know you've done that, but at some point if you do too much, you're doing everything and you're doing nothing because none of
Exactly.
you can't give your energy to anything when
Yeah.
it's too many things. I love
Yeah.
how you said that. Yeah.
You consolidated it perfectly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Congrats again on becoming the ISO president. Do you have any plans for the upcoming year? Anything you want to change?
Yeah, thank you so much for the congratulations. Yeah, so next year I've been a part of the board under two great presidents, Leila Okravi, and this year it's been Leila Salehi. And they've both been amazing presidents, and I've learned a lot from both of them. They've had different leadership styles in some ways, but at the same time, I think it reflected in what era ISO had been in. So Layla's presidency was more of a transitionary year. Like it felt more like we were becoming serious, like we were really like becoming professional, and we were doing bigger things. We had our Yalda that year, which was beautiful, but at the same time very stressful because we had a difficult time managing roles at that time, which was fine. I mean, we're figuring it out. But then with Leela, we've been having a lot more of a structured board, which has been really nice. She's done a great job of maintaining her presidency and her role there, and at the same time delegating well. We also have two vice presidents this year, Kimmy and Cami Donai. They are twin sisters, and they've done a great job too. Like all three of them have been great, like leaders in general. And next year, I'm gonna keep the similar structure that's been being built. So the way that Leela's been managing it from the perspective of president has been great, and I plan to talk more to her and like pick her brain about it, so I can learn for like more. Um, but I suppose as a whole, I think next year my focus will probably be on making events like Nowruz bigger and better, and slowly improving events like Mehergan, Sis de Badar. Hopefully, I've just been thinking about this the other day. I feel like it would be nice to have like Nowruz week or something. Like it'll be close to finals just because the quarter system, is a little hard given that. But I think it could be nice where we basically have like small socials that are surrounding traditions, like in Nowruz, like maybe egg painting, things like that. That way we can also lead up to Nowruz, and it could be a way for us to also advertise. I used to be social media for ISO, so a lot of my experience is also very centered on like social media marketing, and this year I'm outreach director. So I also keep thinking about how we look to others and how we are networking, things like that. And I think having an orders week would be really cool. But otherwise, maybe more connections with other campuses, not campuses. Well, actually, yeah. What the hell? With other campuses, we try to do that with Berkeley as much as we can, Santa Cruz as much as we can. We think they're great people. But yeah, and also just student groups on campus. There's a lot of Middle Eastern, South Asian groups, and I think it'd be great to connect more with them. Even in MELSA, maybe I'm able to connect ISO and MELSA more through my dual leadership positions. Things like that. But as a whole, I'm going to keep the structure we've been doing, and I think next year will be really great. And as long as we keep up our momentum and, you know, add maybe a few more things here and there, like Nowruz Week, I think it would be awesome. I'm really proud of ISO, and I'm really happy just to be president and like be able to show what I've learned, I guess, over the years, and like then pass the baton as I graduate.
Yeah, I love how humble you are and you want to gain experience from other people and use their experience because if something
Thank
is
you.
working, there's no need to like change everything. But also,
Yeah.
I love your ideas about connecting programs and campuses because that way everyone can benefit more.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much for this talk. Your experience has been really impressive, but you also been very like real and humble. Um,
Thank you.
Please like give us any other advice you think other students can use. Also, if you want to shout out your social media, your ISO page, all of that stuff, please do so now. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you, Nika. I really appreciated the talk. I suppose that really just sums up all the advice I think I have. What I've learned over the last 3 years. It's been difficult, but it's been fun. And but yeah, I appreciate the note about me being humble. I really try to be humble as much as I can because I mean, hell, I don't know much. I'm just figuring it out like every day. But yeah, I suppose as my final words, I'll say give ISO a follow. Our Instagram is ISO Davis. And hell, follow Melsa too. We're getting started. So let me pull up the thing right now. It's such a new club. I don't think I remember our Instagram handle yet.
Yeah,
But let's see here.
yeah, we'll also add all of these in the description so people can find.
Perfect. Okay. Melsa UCD. That is the Instagram. There you go. Give
Mhm.
them a follow. Give PLC a follow. PLC.Davis. Help us out in that area as well. Heck, give UCD underscore CCC a follow. That's my job, the Cross Cultural Center, where we hold also a lot of like big cultural showcases. We just had Powwow. We're gonna have La Gran Tardiara, which is I believe Mexican Hispanic focus festival. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff that I'm a part of, and I hope that people like you, whoever's the listener, can be a part of. If not here at Davis, hopefully at your own campus. But yeah, take inspiration. Part of this is just being inspired by other people and wanting to be um, the best version of yourself. So yeah, I hope this inspired someone or helped them out.
Thank you so much for everything you do for Iranian students and all the people that are on your campus. And thank you so much for having this talk. It was amazing.
Of course, it was great to meet you, Nika. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
Bye.